Hi, I'm Diane Kometa, and today on Dishin with Di, I'm making pumpkin pancakes. These pancakes are light and fluffy and have the perfect amount of pumpkin spice flavor. They're great in the fall and also on the holidays, or if you just want to make something for somebody special. So let's get in the kitchen and get things started today on Dishin with Di. You need some buttermilk, an egg, some pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie mix, some vegetable oil, some sugar, all-purpose flour, salt, baking soda and baking powder, and some pumpkin pie spice. Now, if you don't have pumpkin pie spice, I have a pumpkin pie spice, or pumpkin spice as it's also referred to, recipe, and I'll leave that link for you, and I'll leave a link below this video too. The same goes for the buttermilk. I have a buttermilk substitute recipe because I know buttermilk isn't something that we always have. So I'll leave that link and below this video for you, so no problem there. Now, the first thing that I like to do is combine all my wet ingredients into a bowl. So I have an egg here that I've already lightly whisked, and I do that because when you combine any kind of batter, you don't want to be whipping it up too much. So I prefer to whisk my egg ahead of time, so I already have a jump start on the whisking process. So in a bowl, just take your wet ingredients and combine them. And these are all at room temperature. Everything that I have is at room temperature. And now you're just going to whisk this together. Okay, that looks good. You just want to get that well combined. And now I have my dry ingredients. So I'm just going to add in my pumpkin spice here. And I'm just going to whisk this together. And now I'm just going to combine the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. Now you just want to mix this until everything's combined. You don't want to over mix it, so if there's a few lumps in there, that's okay. Now I also have some non-stick cooking spray, and I have a pan heating on the stove over medium heat, and we're going to go over there and we'll get things underway. Now I have a reliable non-stick pan here, so I'm not going to be using cooking spray, but you could use that if you want to. And I also have an ice cream scoop, and this is about a 1/4 cup scoop. So I'm going to put this batter into the pan. And you just want to cook this until the edges start to brown lightly, and then it starts to bubble on the top, and then you're going to flip it. Okay, that looks good. Just give it a flip. And wait until you see how these puff up because of the buttermilk. And with the pumpkin spice in there, they're just absolutely delicious. What a great breakfast. Now what I like to do to keep them warm is heat my oven to 200 and line a baking sheet with foil. And then I just cover the top with some foil and place them in there until I'm done. If I make too many of them and I need to freeze them, I just take some parchment paper and line a baking rack with that, and then as I cook them, I move them over to the parchment paper, and then when I'm done, I just cut the parchment paper and I stack them all up and I put them in a freezer bag, and I pop them in the freezer. And then that way I can have them, you know, for when my son comes home from college. You just pop them in the microwave for like a minute or a minute and a half, and then they're done and they come out nice and fluffy. So that's, you know, a nice idea for you. If you want to make a whole bunch and then you have some left over, don't throw the batter away. Make the pancakes and then freeze them. So it's a win-win when you do something like that. Okay, they are done, and this batch is for my husband. Nice and fluffy and airy, and the perfect amount of pumpkin flavoring. And I have, to go along with it, my pumpkin spice syrup. So I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on mine, and I have to give it a little taste. You know I can't pass these up. And look how fluffy they are. I mean, they're just so fluffy and light, and they have that perfect pumpkin spice flavor. I think this makes it. You can obviously serve it with maple syrup if you want to, but that just adds like a little extra flavor to it. And they're perfect for, I think, for around the holidays or for Halloween morning, you know, when you want to serve your kids something, or after you had a Halloween party. But it's this kind of food that creates memories for people. You know, if I had these when I was growing up, I would remember that. You know, my mom used to serve me pumpkin pancakes on Thanksgiving morning or something like that, you know. So it's great if you want to serve it to your kids, your grandkids, or if you just want something special that is a little bit different and really delicious. So the recipe, as usual, is on my website, dishinwithdi.com. So go over there and check that out. And don't forget to subscribe so you can have access to all of these things that I'm making. I'll leave the link for this pumpkin spice syrup. And I heat this up in the microwave too. So this is warm because it just goes so nice when you pour it over your pancakes. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please go try it, and I look forward to seeing you next time. And as usual, I hope I made your life a little easier, more enjoyable, and delicious. Bye-bye now.